Hello, everyone. Digital anchor Rachel Rancy here in the NBC4i Digital Center with Jared Smalley. He is live in Kansas City right now for the NFL Draft. Jared, how you doing right now?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Got in late last night, and the town is buzzing. There are people everywhere here. I actually, when I got on my shuttle last night to our hotel, I got on the shuttle, and then these guys got on. They'd flown in from California, but they're Chiefs fans. And it was really
Wow.
interesting. So they flew from California because they're Chiefs fans, but they flew to Kansas City because they just wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And they wanted to see how all this looks in downtown Kansas City. I worked out here many, many, many years ago in Topeka, about an hour west of here. And so I came to Kansas City a lot. The city looks so different. First
Yeah.
time I've been here in 20 years. It looks so different than it used to. And this setup for the draft is impressive. It looks so nice. It's like 3 million square feet of space. And
Wow.
the city looks great. I mean,
I'm
it's a beautiful showcase.
I'm sure, and I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting night. We have a wide selection of players from Ohio colleges that could be selected for the draft, and also including former Buckeyes, that are going to be projected, could be projected to be picked in the first round. And that's kind of what I want to go with first. And, talking about the big one is CJ Stroud. What are you thinking when it comes to the selection for CJ Stroud?
CJ is the biggest question in the draft. Without a doubt, CJ is the biggest question because he could go anywhere from second to fourth to seventh to 11th, maybe later. It is just such a wild card right now. And here's the issue. At
Yeah.
number 2, Houston owns the pick. Houston has given no indication whatsoever of where they want to go with that pick. Keep in mind, Houston could definitely use a quarterback, but they don't seem convinced of that themselves. And maybe that's not a direction they will go. They have a new administration there, new head coach, etc. So they may not prioritize it this year. And if they don't, the next team in line who needs a quarterback is Indianapolis at 4. CJ to Indianapolis makes perfect sense. I mean, it would be such a home run fit. If that didn't work out, then you look down to 7. Oakland owns that pick. CJ grew up a Raiders fan. So obviously not Oakland now, Las Vegas. But CJ grew up a big Raiders fan in Southern California. He would be thrilled to be a Raider. And if that didn't work out, number 11 is Tennessee. They're coached by Mike Vrabel, who's, of course, a Buckeye. So they could use a quarterback. If you go all the way down the line there,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of options for him. The other curious spot, I think, is number 3 tonight at Arizona, because Arizona has a quarterback. They're fine, but their quarterback has gone on record saying he would like an offensive lineman, and in particular, he really likes Paris Johnson Jr. So there is a chance that Paris could be the first Buckeye off the board if that, in fact, does come together with Arizona taking him at 3, which would be just an incredible moment for Paris. But regardless, I think all 3 of those guys, CJ, Paris, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, probably off the board by the 20th pick, maybe even by the 15th pick. They're all very highly coveted players in this draft.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking earlier, especially CJ Stroud, kind of like a toss up. You never know, what's going to be happening with that. And I know we mentioned earlier, you said the Bengals and the Browns. Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
Well, not much, because the Browns don't have a pick.
Yes.
The Browns have no pick tonight. They have no pick until round 3,
Yes.
which is really interesting. And obviously that's related to the number of deals they've struck the past couple of years, including the Deshaun Watson trade. So their first rounders are gone for a couple of years. The Bengals own the 28th pick in the draft, and that will be interesting to follow. The Bengals are so close.
Yeah.
They are right on the precipice of winning a championship. They know that. But they could go in a number of different directions to address needs. Offensive line, certainly to protect Joe Burrow better, would be a great idea. But they did a little bit of that in free agency, so maybe it's not the biggest priority. Defensive line, for sure, they'd love to boost as well. And then tight end. They lost their starting tight end in free agency. That could be a very good opportunity, because this is a draft very heavy with quality tight ends, including Mike Mayer from Notre Dame, who is from Northern Kentucky. And so he would be delighted to be a Bengal. So there are great fits there for them, but it'll be a quiet night most of the night, barring a trade.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Jared, for joining me again, talking about the draft. Again, like I said, it's going to be an exciting night. And of course, you have a big day full of coverage, obviously, just keeping us up to date with, what's going on later tonight. So thank you so much again for joining me.
You got it. See you, buddy.
And stick with NBC4 on air and online again as we find out more about tonight's draft and the selected picks for the teams. Again, like I said, Jared will be live in Kansas City all day covering the draft. Live coverage begins on NBC4 this afternoon and on First to 4. And of course, we will continue throughout the evening.